Hey there guys, welcome to my Rogue One review. Yes, I did go see it yesterday and it was an amazing experience. Haven't had such a fun time since I watched The Force Awakens, and I would love to do a spoiler review as well for this movie, so if you want to watch that, let me know down in the comments and I will gladly release it before the weekend or over the weekend. Let me just start by saying that this is a non-spoiler review, so you do not have to worry about spoilers. I will just give you the feeling of this movie and the gist of it as how I felt during the process of watching it. So hope you have fun and let's get this one started. So the first thing I want to talk about are reshoots. Yes, the damned reshoots that everybody got panicked over during the summer, and I want to say this, reshoots were totally necessary for this film. Now, I absolutely understand why the executive decision was brought on to make some reshoots, because this is absolutely a dark and a war movie. The first act did not feel like a Star Wars film for me. Like, even though I was watching Stormtroopers and the Rebellion and all that, it just wasn't clicking for me. It was so dark that we have not seen this type of gritty and a dark Star Wars movie ever. This one separates itself from all the other ones and you will notice it, I guarantee it. So another thing I want to point out for you guys is this is definitely not a black and white movie, meaning the good and the bad is not so clearly defined. In the previous films, like in the old trilogy for example, we absolutely understand who the bad guys and who the good guys are. For example, we see the Rebellion and they're fighting the evil Empire. We clearly understand the two dimensions and who to root for. But here, you will see the dark side of it all. How the Rebellion had to do some shady things, to say the least, in order to survive and not be caught and captured by the Empire. Whether you feel it is justified or not, in my mind, I will never see the Rebellion as I saw them before this film. This film will change the Rebel Alliance for you forever, and I think it is for the better. You get the realistic part instead of the cartoony part where the good guys are good to no measure and the bad guys are bad to no measure. This film shows you the gray side of it all. You get to see that the good guys, in order to survive, sometimes have to do bad things. Now, there were some things that took me out of the Star Wars experience. For example, the war movie and the dark tone will definitely be a problem for anyone who's a Star Wars fanatic like I am. As I mentioned before, this is nothing that you have seen in Star Wars, and without going into spoilers, there were some things in the beginning that bothered me, but towards the middle of the film, and especially in the third act, where we clearly see the climax of this whole journey, that is when the movie felt rewarding. It was such a good experience and a great overall film. Now, I'm not gonna say it is better than The Force Awakens, but it is definitely up there with it. You will have a great experience watching this movie and you will feel the same way as you did with The Force Awakens. Now, don't get me wrong, these are two totally different films as it pertains to Star Wars. Episode 7 hanged on to the old ways where it was good and the bad, but this one will feel totally different as a Star Wars film, but you will get the same enjoyment out of Rogue One as you did out of The Force Awakens. Now, as for the characters, K2SO was definitely one of my favorites. We have seen comic relief droids before like C3PO and R2-D2, but K2SO is something totally different. You see, with C3PO and R2-D2, we get the funny parts, but you clearly see that it is aimed toward a much younger audience. With K2SO, you definitely get a different sense of humor, a more mature one, if you will. The other character that I liked was Reshoots, played by Donnie Yen. He had some great fights in this film, and you can see that his character and his belief in the Force makes him undeterred and never doubting himself throughout this whole film. But there is one thing I have to talk about, and that is Darth Vader. By now, you know that he will appear in this film. You have seen it in the trailers, so I won't reveal how much or what does he do. I just want to say one thing to you guys. When Vader is on screen, you will feel it. Every time Vader was on screen, Everybody was on their edge of their seats. You don't know what's gonna happen, and James Earl Jones did a fantastic job again, reprising his role as Darth Vader. It was an amazing experience to watch him again, and I truly believe that without Vader, Rogue One would be a good movie, but it wouldn't be a great, fantastic movie. So that is basically what I felt watching this movie, and without going into spoilers, I cannot reveal much more. That is how I felt about this movie, and I absolutely loved it. If by any chance you want me to make another review of Rogue One with spoilers later on, let me know down in the comments and let me know, did you like this review? Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, don't forget to leave a thumbs up as well. Have a fun day and go watch Rogue One. In closing, my friends, don't forget, may the Force be with you always.